South Africa has been shaken to its foundations. MKHWANAZI has just unleashed a political bombshell, laying bare Jacob Zuma's clandestine dealings nobody thought would be revealed. The news is so startling that the citizens, analysts, and even Parliament are all running around trying to figure out what it implies for the nation's future. Might this be the scandal to finally turn it all around? Stay with us because we are peeling off the whole story. And believe me, you don't want to miss any detail. But first, make sure you subscribe so you're always in the know when political drama like this happens. Jacob Zuma's name has been tied to controversy for decades. From state capture inquiries to allegations of mismanagement and corruption, his political career has been marred by scandal after scandal. But MKHWANAZI's latest revelations may be the most explosive yet. Telling it straight, the opposition politician charged Zuma with being at the very epicenter of clandestine activities that allegedly dictated not only the political but also the economic contours of South Africa. For much of South Africa, Zuma symbolized a period that they eagerly sought to leave behind. And these fresh allegations risk reopening scars that were never fully closed. The country is shocked not just due to the severity of the charges, but also because they target the essence of the country's democracy. If true, the claims would vindicate long-standing fears regarding how far corruption had gone in the state during Zuma's presidency. So, what did MKHWANAZI actually uncover? In his affidavit, it was said that Zuma had allegedly made a number of clandestine deals with influential businessmen and politicians. These were not low-level transactions or gossip. They were high-level deals that, if true, would present Zuma as a major player in webs that shaped everything from billion-rand government contracts to the appointment of cabinet ministers. But it extended beyond money. MKHWANAZI alleges these transactions were about power controlling what South Africa would become from behind the scenes. Some of the choices claimed affected national security and opened up critical state institutions to corruption. At its core, MKHWANAZI is alleging that Zuma was leading a shadow government, one that existed alongside legitimate frameworks, guaranteeing loyalty, riches, and power for an elite group. The reaction was explosive. Within hours of the revelations by MKHWANAZI, hashtags trended on social media. #ZumaX exposed and #MKHWANAZI bombshell were like wildfire, with citizens expressing outrage, incredulity, and fatigue. For most South Africans, this is not just about Zuma himself. This is about betrayal. This is about broken trust that happened a long time ago but now seems impossible to mend. People wonder how much harm was actually caused in the background and why the truth came only now. In some cities, protesters gathered spontaneously outside government buildings holding placards demanding accountability and chanting for justice. Others organized online campaigns calling for urgent investigations. As expected, Zuma's allies wasted no time responding. They dismissed MKHWANAZI's revelations as lies, propaganda, and an attempt to destroy the former president's reputation once and for all. Others even went so far as to accuse MKHWANAZI of being a tool for secret political forces attempting to destabilize the ANC and rewrite history at their own convenience. They make the argument that Zuma has already endured years of probes and legal proceedings and that bringing up fresh charges is only a case of character assassination. But here is the catch. These denials are not keeping quiet the public. If anything, they are generating more questions. Why, critics query, do Zuma's apologists always shoot the messenger instead of focusing on the content of the allegations? The actual storm, though, is brewing within Parliament. The opposition parties have pounced on the exposures, calling for instant investigations, impeachment hearings, and even criminal prosecution if the allegations are found to be true. Discussions have become heated, with MPs at odds on whether Zuma must be called to testify once again, this time under oath for the new charges. Meanwhile, the ANC is again pulled back into Zuma's orbit. The party is divided in its loyalties. Some think the ANC has to rally around Zuma for the sake of the party's legacy. Others say it's time to cut loose altogether and caution that holding on to Zuma might drown the ANC's reputation forever. This split is opening up old wounds in the party and stoking fears of a growing factional conflict. What is most threatening about this news, however, is its timing. South Africa is already under enormous pressure. Rolling blackouts, unemployment, and pervasive poverty have led citizens to be frustrated with leadership. Corruption scandals mount, further eroding trust in government institutions. Another Zuma scandal, particularly one exposed so theatrically, risks further destabilizing the political system. For most, this comes as déjà vu, an uncomfortable reminder of those years when Zuma's presidency was the very synonym for chaos, unpredictability and corruption. If the allegations made by Manotsi are proven, they won't just further embarrass Zuma. They might redefine how South Africans think about his entire presidency, not just as imperfect, but as inherently corrupt from the ground up. Political analysts already predict that this is a watershed moment. Professor Nelady Makona of Wits University stated, "Those disclosures cut deeper than past scandals because they touch on the very essence of power. If true, they imply that important decisions regarding the governance of South Africa were taken not in the interests of the people, but in the interest of cables that operate in secret and are dedicated to Zuma." Others say the ANC's reaction will tell us if the party will be able to ride out the storm. If they fight to save Zuma, they risk losing even more public trust. If they ditch him, they risk losing the party. Either scenario, the stakes are immense. What's certain is that South Africans are insisting on accountability as never before. Civil society organizations are pushing for official inquiries. Opposition politicians are rallying for parliamentary action. And citizens frustrated with broken promises are saying enough is enough. For regular people, this scandal isn't remote. It represents years of suffering, deteriorating services, unemployment, and inequality while the elites grew fat. The rage is genuine, and it's intensifying. So, here's where things stand. MKHWANAZI'S bombshell revelations about Jacob Zuma's secret dealings have shaken South Africa to its core. Whether these claims lead to legal consequences or fade into political noise remains to be seen. But one thing is undeniable. The nation is demanding answers and the pressure is only building.